Bankle.
That's what we're talking about today, I think, actually.
Are we talking about Bankle?
The people really want Bankle! It's Bionicle time, finally! Woo! I did enjoy a nice Bionicle as a child. It was my entire single-digit existence, was Bionicle.
I had a dresser drawer full of them, and I played the Flash game on the website.
I had a good few and a very particular book for a generation that I don't know.
I had a couple. Next.
Here's my experience with Bionicles. I had thought, okay, until researching this quiz, I was obsessed with Bionicles as a child. I had so many of them, collections of them. All of my friends had them. Every time the Scholastic Book Fair would come around, I'd get numerous Bionicle books. I had all the movies, and I was like, surely I was so deep in the Bionicle sauce. And then I went on the wiki. I know nothing about Bionicles, guys. I do still love Bionicles, and I do want to go over every generation of Bionicles in as deep an extent as I can in a format that will work for a quiz series for this channel.
How you gonna do it?
Well, it might be different every time, but today we're gonna be going over the original group of Toa / their evolutions into the Takanuva, because they're the same characters.
Were those the originals that I had the book on? I swear they were like a newer generation at the time. That's what?
We're gonna be going through each of the Toa, and I'm gonna be asking about their mask powers and their weapon transformations and stuff, and it's gonna be a fun time. Without further ado, we're gonna jump right into the first round of the first ever Fueled by Sandwiches Bionicle quiz. It's round one.
I'm excited.
And round one is your boy Tahu. The first Toa Fire and the leader of the Toa Mata / Takanuva. This is obviously his Toa Mata form, his original state, this big old chest ball.
Yeah.
And of course, he's starting off with his original Kanohi mask, the Kanohi How. And here's a better look at that mask for you.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Now, if you know anything about Bionicles at all, you know that the Kanohi masks have a variety of powers. Every mask has a unique power, and they give the user said power. And that's why masks are cool. So I have a question for you fellas. What was the power of the Kanohi? What was it? How? I almost said Tau, and I knew it was right. The Kanohi How. Was this the mask of heat resistance, shielding, strength, or berserk state? What do you think this little mask did for our boy Tahu?
I'm curious too, but I think I'm just gonna take it. This is a children's product from the aughts.
Yup.
Main character with fire element, gotta have just strength.
Okay.
Just nebulous strength.
Wholeheartedly concur. I am also going with strength.
Okay.
See, something else very popular for the children of the aughts was reading, obviously. Like you said, Tyler, you went to the book fair and you got yourself some Bionicle books. Obviously, the book right next to it, Volume 1 of Berserk. I'm taking Berserk State. Everyone, right. If you liked Bionicles, you liked Berserk. It was
obviously
they're very similar.
That's what I've heard.
A lot of similar themes. Sometimes the exact same things that happened in Berserk, usually the less fun parts, also happened in Bionicle. And if you want to correct me on that, read all of the Bionicle wiki.
The green bow rock was actually an allegory for Griffith.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we cover the Borok in the next episode, but unfortunately, we're in this episode and we're not talking about the Borok. We're just talking about how nobody got points in the first round because this was the mask of shielding. Okay. So no one gets any dang points. Also, I double-checked, and these were released in 2001, the original Bionicles. So incredible. I couldn't remember if it was 2000 or 2001. It's 2000.
What a year.
Yeah.
I thought I remembered one of them having shielding, but I was convinced it was not the red one.
Yeah, no, it would. I also was of the mindset that, like, he's the main character and the leader. It's got to be strength. It's not strength. It's shielding.
It's protecting his friends.
Guess it makes sense because he does, surf on lava and shit, the shielding would probably help protect him from fire.
True.
Heat resistance also would, but that's fine.
Yeah, but shielding's more varied, protects you from more stuff, so that's pretty cool. Also, you have to understand that the Kanohi masks, the red one that he is wearing, which is the mask of shielding, is just his personal preference. Each of the Toa did get a colored version of every single mask that they could swap between in the original like 3 comics at least that I went back and read in preparation for this quiz. So these are just the ones they like the most, I guess, that ended up being their like main masks.
Now I understand why you were very specific.
Yeah. Also, if that was wrong for some reason, correct me in the comments below. I have a feeling that everything I'm going to say is going to be wrong, but in the research I did leading up to this, I read some of the comics and that did happen. So please elaborate. Again, I love Bionicles, but I didn't apparently know anything about it. The Kanohi How is the mask of shielding. It gave its user the power to protect themselves from any attack which they are aware of, but offered no protection against ambush or mental attacks.
Oh.
So there were drawbacks. It was just physical attacks only.
So if they surprise him, it doesn't help.
No.
Face to face, he's epic, but
Yeah.
when plot develops, boy, he's not going to be very helpful.
If someone has a sniper
takes a
rifle and just
second.
shoots him and he's not aware, dude is dead. He can't do.
But if he's but if he is just constantly walking around going, I could get sniped right now, and then he gets sniped, it won't hurt him at all.
He's got to activate
He's
that Gojo shit.
Yep.
I did apparently. I know I wrote down the mask abilities for the upgraded masks for every round. Apparently, I didn't do that for the mask of shielding. But the enhanced version, I'm pretty sure, just has enhanced shielding and also protects other people around him. If I remember correctly. Again, put in the comments below. I have notes for the rest of the rounds, but I guess I don't for this. I apologize. But speaking of his Takanuva form, before I show you a full picture of him, I am going to ask you the second question that we have for this quiz. Because his base weapon was the fire sword, as you can see in that picture, where he's holding a sword made of fire. When the Toa transformed into the Takanuva, they had enhanced/transformed weapons. So what did the fire sword get transformed into? That is the next question I have for you. Your options are a significantly bigger sword, dual swords, a double-bladed sword, or a shield.
Oh, give me a double-bladed sword. I desperately want dual swords to be real, as is my nature. However,
Okay.
I want to know how they do a dual blade sword. Yeah.
Mask got bigger. What if sword got bigger? I'll pick big mask. I'm sorry, big sword.
Okay, cool.
I pick bigger mask.
I'll pick the 5th option.
Yes.
The secret effect of the shielding mask evolving is that he can manifest bigger mask. Something is calling to me about the ads that I would see back in the day. And if it's not dual swords, I think it's just a really big sword that he surfs on the lava on.
So are you guessing dual swords or big sword?
No, I'm guessing big sword.
Oh, okay. Well, if you had guessed dual swords, I could have given you a point, because the correct answer is dual swords. However, I will give a pity
Against my
point
better
to
nature.
Nico, because technically he can turn it into a double-bladed sword. But that's not really the primary form.
eventuality.
So the correct
Fuck
answer
yeah.
is dual blades, but on a technicality, double-bladed sword kind of works. These are the magma swords. They can not only focus as elemental flame powers, but they can also combine to form a lava board. Because if there's one thing you need to know about children's toys and franchises in the early 2000s, everything had to be extreme sports related to be as relatable as possible to the kids. So all of the Takanuva could use their weapons as some form of extreme sportage or other means of traversing specific kinds of land.
A la an extremely goofy movie.
Yes.
Yep, that was the reference point.
Yep.
Actually, for every other thing of the early 2000s, they're like, well, we have to be like Goofy.
Yeah.
It
It's just a
had
regular Goofy. It's just a regular movie to me. There's no way they'll make it that extreme.
Moving on ahead into round number 2, we're going to talk about the White Ice Lad Kopaka.
His mask was
And,
always really weird.
It was really weird, in a cool way. Not just because he's ice themed, but just because it looks kind of cool. And he was second in command of the Toa right under Tahu. And he had the Kanohi mask called the Akaku, which has a big old on it.
Yeah,
Eloquently said.
Yeah, thank you.
a big old eye on it.
And what did it do? That's what I'm asking you right now. Here are your options. Was it the Mask of Accuracy, Thermal Vision, Weak Point Identification, or X-Ray Vision?
It could be
All
any
of-
one of these.
Yeah,
sure
really
could.
could be any of them. Like, it really feels very.
It could be any one of them, but I have guessed the third option every time, so I'm going to continue that trend with weak point identification.
Okay, cool.
See, it's tough, right? Because the last one was very general. So how general is this one? You know, like, because I feel like weak point identification feels very specific, and thermal vision feels a bit specific. Whereas X-ray and accuracy, I feel like feel a little more general, in my opinion. I'll go for accuracy, but again, I really feel like it could be any of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick thermal vision because it's the one that I think is least likely to be
Okay.
true.
That is a choice. So it turns out that you guys know even less about Bionicle than I do, because once again we have 0 points. The correct answer is X-ray vision. The Kanohi Akaku was the Mask of X-ray vision, also called the Mask of Vision. The Great Akaku gave its user the power to see through solid objects, which is a very broad sense of X-ray vision, I suppose. Akaku were commonly fitted with special lenses that allowed for telescopic vision as well. Now, the Takanuva, which was the evolved version seen here, gave its user and those nearby the power to see through solid objects and illusions. And Takanuva were fitted with telescopic lenses to give the users enhanced viewing. So essentially,
okay.
the exact
the
same
mask I
thing,
know.
just better.
Yeah.
It's just a better one.
This
Yeah.
one looked more like a doctor.
Oh, and also
combat doctor.
also
Looks more like a
assists
monocle.
teammates. It does look quite monocle-y, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
It's like mad scientist to me.
I don't really like how specifically Tahu and Kopaka's masks just kind of became like fleshier looking when they evolved.
Yeah.
Not necessarily my favorite. I do think a lot of the other ones we're going to look at throughout this quiz are cooler, but some of them just kind of look wrinklier, and I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest.
Yeah. I like the original one a lot more here.
Me too.
Like it just has such a charm to it in a really not cohesive way.
Yeah, big thing stuck on he got dang face.
Because like the original was
Dinner
like
plate.
I don't know, it was like Splinter Cell vibes, and this one is like
Yeah.
monocle and gas mask combined, and it's like not quite as cool in my opinion. But maybe you'll think his weapons were cooler. And that's what I'm about to ask you about next, because when Kopaka did become a Takanuva, his base weapon of the ice sword and ice shield, which the shield is kind of sideways in that picture I have for you, but it is a shield. What did those turn into when he turned into a Takanuva? Did they become a spear and a shield, an axe and a shield, a rifle and a shield, or a dual-bladed sword and a shield?
I'm breaking my pattern. Give me an axe and a shield.
Okay.
Oh, but I do want dual-bladed. The axe.
The axe.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I doubt that they. I doubt that they got into like the action shooting toys this early. I'm going with spear and shield, although personally I believe that switching away from sword and shield in any regard is just a wrong move.
Okay.
Agreed with you there, sir, to the point where I'm also picking spear and shield.
Wow.
I did also want to put out there the sword that he has in that original version. I've always thought that was like the coolest looking thing. I don't know why. It's really not. Like, if I'm honest, but like, I don't know, something about the look of it.
It's
With like
cool.
the gap in the middle too.
great.
It really,
Yeah.
when I was little, man, I looked at the thing, I was like, that might be the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
You know, I really thought that you were going to be like, you know, Mitch, I agree with you. I think that the sword would just turn into a dual-bladed sword, and then I was going to give you a point. Unfortunately, no one gets points again because it just turns into a dual-bladed sword that converts into a pair of skis.
Oh, that shield is so much lamer.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, it's more effective, though. It's not covered in holes, so I feel like it would actually
that's
shield
lamer.
you.
It's lamer.
I'm really upset because I've definitely seen this one for 1000%. Like,
That was like
I
the
have
awakening as to why
as well.
the Toa hands had like two sides to them,
Yeah.
so he could hold his sword. Yeah. I totally remember that now. I remember having a big light up sword too. When we see that, I'm gonna pop off. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be in this video.
I don't think it's gonna be in this video. I don't think they included lights in the original 2 toy lines. But yeah, he's really the only one that doesn't, or I guess that like uses a dual-sided thingamajig because he has the shield in the other hand. Like everyone else, I feel like, if I remember correctly, has 2 things. But yeah, he whips those onto his feet and they turn into skis, which is why they look exactly like big old ice skates, and why they
they're just
kind of look like a
huge
really
fucking
dumb
skis.
fucking weapon because they're primarily skis.
Yeah,
So
it's
what you're
pretty
telling
lame.
me is that this guy excels at shielding and an extreme sport involving standing on something.
You got it. We're going into round number 3. And boy, golly. Talking about golly.
Whoa, are those sickles?
They're just hooks. It's not even that cool. They're called water hooks.
Honestly, I think that kind of is cooler.
are they?
That's an opinion to have, I
What
guess.
do you
I
need
think
a
they're
hook for?
Well, it's an effective underwater weapon. She needs those.
I guess. I think they're just kind of lame. But anyway,
be.
this Gali, she was the only female member of the original Toa group, and she was the Toa of water, as you can tell, because she's blue. That's so crazy that they're color coded the elements that they're a part. That's insane.
I didn't notice.
Now you might be noticing, hey, she does have a mask that is translucent, and yes, she does, and her mask is the only one that's translucent, and I always thought that was kind of cool. And it is called the Cow. Spelled K-A-U, not C-O-W.
Gotcha.
But
Oh.
Golly
Those are-
had the cow.
yep, Golly had the cow. Hippy skippy. Now,
With Golly with the water hooks and the cow. I love this character.
she's the best one so far, for sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm not even gonna get into that, actually. I'm just gonna go into the first question. What do you think that her dang mask power was? What do you think the cow gave her the ability to do? Was it the mask
Milk.
of water breathing, enhanced swimming, healing, or dark vision?
I mean, it's gotta be water breathing, right? Like, I'm sure this is the one where I'm like just kind of going with the one that it feels like it should be. And then it's gonna just be, well, obviously it was dark vision.
Clearly,
water
it was
breathing.
dark vision.
Okay. Mitch?
Dark vision would be helpful underwater.
Swimming in dark water? Stop.
To a certain
brighter.
depth, I don't think you can really help it, Kyle.
You got glowing eyes. They'll light things up. Duh.
Oh, right.
You know what? Because of the power system, I'm going to assume that it's water breathing. Otherwise, it would be really funny that this one technically gets 2 abilities because it's built to allow you to breathe underwater.
Wouldn't it be funny if because they're robots, they don't have lungs and everyone can breathe underwater? That's not true. This is the mask of water breathing, so you got get points. But wouldn't that have been funny if that were the case? Is all I'm saying.
Oh, you scared
I was kind
me.
of banking on that, to be fully honest.
Yeah.
That's the kind of mindset I was going into on
It's kind of banking on that.
thermal vision. Was I was like, well, what if they're just robots and they don't actually have heat signatures? So that would be really useless.
I believe they're like biomechanical, so they have like meaty parts and robotic parts. I remember them giving them kind of like fleshy cartilage in their joints in the movie.
Ew.
So
Ew.
Did you?
It was a choice.
Did you send just that's the regular mask?
Yeah, I just forgot to send that in chat when we were talking about it, but I just have a picture there for you. This is what the mask became, or I guess I should read my notes first for this. The Kanohi Cow is the mask of water breathing, sometimes abbreviated as the mask of water, which is way too vague and does not insinuate breathing in any capacity, actually. It gave the user the power to breathe underwater. So fucking crazy. Albeit only to a certain depth and for a limited amount of time. However, when it evolved into the Takanuva, it gave its user and those nearby the power to breathe underwater for an indefinite amount of time, even at extreme depths. The Takanuva's power could have been used to suffocate opponents via sharing its power, but Toa considered that to be an immoral application. I'd say so. And it's interesting they felt the need to include that in the lore.
Wow. It's that you ever see, this is a tangent. You ever seen that post that somebody's D&D group, the wizard asked the DM, like, I have this summon water spell. All it has to be is a space in which water can occupy that I can see. The opponent's chest cavity is a space that I can see. And the DM allowed it, and they drowned the person. They drowned the enemy immediately. There was no damage. They were just dead. So you're telling me that this can do that, and they're just not taking advantage of it?
According to the wiki, it can do that, but has never been done because why would they do that?
Could you imagine the sauce that would be to start a fight, go underwater to a specific depth, and then just go, oh, by the way, you can't breathe.
No, I think Gali's got a lot more whimsy to her. I think she's just kind of like swimming with her water hooks, and she's like, Gali! And then you just die. Like swinging the water hooks around. Gali, my cow's got you!
I just think it's really funny that the Takanuva insinuates water breathing by giving it a big old schnoz. It just has two big nostrils.
That's the
I
cool
wasn't
part.
sure if I wanted to comment on that, but it does look more like a cow nose.
Yeah, it's really funny, actually. Speaking of the water hooks, they allowed her to channel her water powers for melee combat or to scale slippery surfaces with ease.
Wow.
Which I guess if you're underwater, everything is slippery.
Is water wet?
Kind of. Don't.
We don't have the brain capacity to open up that can of worms. However, I do need to ask you, what did those water hooks transform into when she became a Takanuva?
Sickles.
What new weapons matched the vibes of her big ol' sniffer nostrils that she was equipped with? Did they turn into claws, daggers, axes, or harpoons?
Axes wouldn't make a lot of sense. Everything has been motion-based so far. Those already have a little bit of movement to them, like you said, like scaling.
Yeah.
My instinct says claws. And my instincts almost got me a point earlier. No, my instincts got me a pity point earlier, so I'll go with claws.
Okay.
I also want claws.
Okay. Mitch.
I guess she has non-standard hands. I was thinking to myself, I'm trying to figure out how claws would work on bionicle hands. I'm just gonna pick axes.
I am happy to announce that Mitch is getting a second point because they did in fact turn into axes, and she would strap them to her feet like flippers.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah. Also, the backhands have little propellers that would stay on her hands and would like propel her through the water.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. They were called the aqua axes, which were tools used by Gali as Takanuva. They were transformed from her water hooks as Toamata. She could use them to channel her elemental powers. She could also attach them to her feet as swim fins and use the propellers to take her through the water at great speed.
Woo!
Question, how does she take them off and affix them to her feet?
Carefully.
With
I haven't considered that up until now, but I like that it's I don't know how any of them take these off and affix them.
Implied improved range of movement.
Because they actually do have fingers in the movie, which makes it easier. They have actual hands and are holding. They're just implied on the toys, I guess.
Okay.
This one was always one of my faves, like specifically this version of it. I'm also realizing that I did not know this when I was younger. I had a lot more of the, Nuva or whatever they are versions of them. I had a lot more of these ones than I did like the actual like OG guys or whatever the fuck. I always, it's crazy that you brought up the gigantic schnoz on this one. I always imagined it being like this like crazy breathing helmet apparatus thing, and I never even like ever in my life considered that a big fat schnoz. I just was like, oh, obviously it helps the breathing.
Yeah.
It just looks like they're supposed to be more hooked to it.
Yeah. I really never saw that either until today. I just kind of noticed like, hey, that's just a nose. We're going to go on ahead into round 4. Round 4 is Pohatu, which was another one that I owned because I owned most of the originals, but it was this guy. He had big old feet. And
he has claws.
His body was upside down because the gear moved his foot to kick instead of his arm to swing. And that also meant he couldn't fucking stand up because it did not think that through. I fucking hated this guy, actually, but he was one of the first ones I owned.
He's got feet attachments on his toes.
He sure does.
Brother's got the steel-toed boots!
And he was apparently the humorous, easygoing Toa, according to the wiki.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Clearly.
He was also the Toa of Stone. I always fucking hated that they had 2 elements that were stone and earth, and that those weren't the same thing. And it bothers me even more today.
Yeah.
But yeah, his Kanohi mask was the Kakama, which is honestly a pretty cool looking mask, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
That one is
quite
very
iconic to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Also the mask that my little McDonald's Matoran had that I got when I was a wee, like, 4-year-old child.
You go way back with this guy.
Yeah. So
What'd you say his name was again? Kopaku?
Pohatu.
Pohatu.
Yeah.
Pohatu.
Close.
There's reasons I'm not doing a quiz name on the a quiz round on the names, because that would be just
Pohatu.
insane.
That gives me Larry vibes.
What?
Don't mess with me, or you'll be messing with
Larry.
So the Kanohi Kakama, it did have a mask power, just like all the other masks. What was the mask power associated with this one? Was it enhanced strength, enhanced durability, enhanced speed, or boulder mode?
well, like it. Huh?
Yeah, just give me boulder mode. Just full send. Fuck it.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to be right if it's not boulder mode.
I'm just gonna take durability.
All right.
I'll take strength, I guess.
All right. Everyone swings and everyone misses once again. Dude has big old feet because this is the mask of speed that makes him run really, really, really fast.
So he's got
making waves.
bigger feet, makes it harder to. It's clompers.
But well, then he has the mask to compensate because it is the mask of speed. It gave its user the power to move and run at amazing velocities. While wearing this mask, the user did not have enhanced senses, so everything appeared to be a blur while running. Very effective mask, honestly.
I love that, actually.
And when it became the Takanuva, It was, I don't care about the origins. It was formed when the destined Kanohi Kakama was exposed to energized protodermis and yeah, who fucking cares? The Takanuva gave its user and those nearby the power to cross large distances instantly through sheer speed. It also allowed the users to pass through objects without harm by vibrating their molecules. The mask increased the user's reflexes and senses. It also looks like
They
it's
were in a Flash comic.
Did you say energized protoderma?
Yeah, protodermis was like this clear liquid shit that had plot relevance, and I remember it from the movies, and I didn't look into it because I'm not quizzing you on the lore, so I don't need to know about that yet. I am making an effort to go through as much of the lore as possible, but I only have so much time in a week when I'm prepping a quiz and
Really
working
fair.
a full-time job and living my life. So, like, I'm just kind of learning while I'm doing this. I just remember protodermis was like thick water.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yummy.
That thick with.
Now, Pohatu, as we've mentioned, did have those big old clompers, and they weren't even actual weapons. They were called feet additions. Canonically. So that's fun.
New name for my shoes. That's so cool.
And the power of the feet additions was that they could smash huge stones with a single kick. I remember he did come with a little boulder that you could kick with his
boulder
feet.
mode.
Yeah, boulder mode. But what weapon did he actually gain when he became a Takanuva and got that mask that looks different than the original? Did he get claws, hatchets, hand additions, or enhanced feet additions?
Oh no. Oh.
Give me enhanced feet editions.
Okay, cool.
Well, certainly this time, right? Right? Right?
Yeah, Speedy Claus, yeah.
I'm sorry, did
You know
you
what?
pick claws? Discord is having like none of your audio come through. I can't hear what you're talking half the
Yeah,
time.
you are a bit quiet.
Okay. I'm putting claws.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Surely hatches are very different from axes.
Are you picking
I'll
hatchets?
pick hatches.
Okay, they are different from axes in the sense that these aren't real, and the axes were. However, Kyle is going to get another point because he did get claws. And they weren't claws like you would think they would be, though. They were like those kind of claws.
I love those things. I had those things.
Oh, I recognize this guy.
Yeah.
I
Technically, he
recognize
did
him.
get enhanced feet
He
additions.
still got the foots!
Yeah, they are technically enhanced feet editions. I'm not going to give you a point for that, though, because I was
They're
specifically
gray.
asking you what his Toa tool was, which is not the feet editions. That was just a thing that enhanced when he evolved. So fuck you, Nico. You're not getting another free point.
No, that's fair. These do look. Yeah, well, they look the same as the old ones, so they're not. They're just there.
Yeah, they're just gray now.
Yeah, because they're enhanced.
Of course, they're enhanced.
This was the only Takanuva that I had. I found him at a Dollar General, and it made me very happy because I could afford things at a Dollar General as a child.
Valid and true.
Yeah. Didn't
Yeah,
like him.
wide
He was
gate.
just the only one I found, so I bought him because I needed all the Bionicles.
Of course.
So when Pohatu became a Takanuva, he also gained a pair of climbing claws in addition to the feet additions, which became silver and had even more power. The climbing claws were Pohatu Nuva's Toa tools. I already said that. Thank you for repeating yourself, Wikipedia.
Yes.
They could be thrown at enemies or combined to create the Codon Ball, and it could also focus his control over stone. He commonly used them to climb canyons in Powahi, which was his home section of Motunui. Also, I think it's really funny that they gave you little things to attach the claws together, so they were like, you can make the ball, but it doesn't look like a ball. It just looks like the two claws shoved together. And it doesn't make a ball in any capacity, and that confused the shit out of me.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a thing. Round number 5. It's my favorite Toa. It's your boy Lewa. He was green,
Yeah!
therefore he was automatically my favorite as a kid because I like
Wow.
green shit.
Yeah, he's
I liked him
very
because his name was
green.
Lewa.
Yeah.
His offhand is a little bit different than the other ones so far.
Yeah, the only other one that has an offhand like that is Tahu, but his was shittier than that.
Well, no,
because he didn't have like the big finger covers on it.
I expressly cannot keep track of their names, but the last guy absolutely did. He had two.
Oh, he had both of those. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but this one is a little bit different than those.
Yeah, because he's got weird like finger covers on him.
Little prongies on.
I think
he's got a stun gun.
Yeah, I think it's just supposed to be a hand. When I was a kid, I always imagined it as a gun.
It kind of can't
possibly have been a gun, but
that axe is long as hell.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's very cool.
He's got a halberd.
Yeah. Now, Lewa, obviously, because he's green, was the Toa of air. Right? Not nature. That wasn't an element. They had earth and stone. No nature, because they had air. But air does make more sense. Just earth and stone being doubled up, it just makes me irate, and I will never ever get over that. His Kanohi mask was the Kanohi Miru, as you can see. And what was the power associated with the Miru mask? Was it invisibility, levitation, enhanced agility, or anti-gravity?
I'm gonna pick enhanced agility.
Okay.
Nothing's working for me so far, so fuck it. Invisibility.
Okay, cool.
Right there with you. Give me anti-gravity, I guess.
All right, you guys are really good at dodging the answers. This is the mask of levitation. No one gets points. Holy shit.
Levitation.
Why
is
he
the Toa of
levitation?
air. He likes to levitate, so you can fly through the trees.
Yeah, that's fair.
The mask
I
kind of
guess.
reminds me of this.
Wow. One might say it reminds you of The Mask,
The Mask.
of which Jim Carrey was in and was also green. References! The Kanohi
Shockingly,
Miru
no,
was the
actually.
mask of levitation. It gave its user the power to float and glide on air. This mask prevented beings from falling, but provided no thrust, as the Kanohi Kaden did, which we have not talked about, but that's in this lore segment, so that's cool. The user could activate and use the Kanohi's power from a standing start. While the Kanohi Miru is unable to provide thrusted flight for most users, Toa Lewa is an exception. As a Toa of air, Lewa is able to combine the powers of the Miru with his own command of air to attain flight using thrust from powerful wind currents. So we can all see why this is his preference of mask.
Yeah, the book led me to believe that he couldn't fly. He could only like glide. I think I might have misread it as a child.
I don't know. His mask transformed, obviously, into the Miru Nuva, which was my favorite mask. I never had Lewa Nuva, but I always wanted him desperately because he was my favorite, and I'm still sad to this day that I never got him. But the Miru Nuva gave its user and those nearby the power to float and glide on air currents. When used in conjunction with the Kakama Nuva, the mask allowed the users to levitate upwards at high speeds. That's a little fun fact.
Kill them with fall damage.
Yeah! Could be fun. Or with your big swinging axe that you have that I assume you probably use to chop through the trees and vines, but you also definitely used it to kill people and other creatures on the island of Motunui. It was specifically called the Air Axe, and it was apparently very useful for slicing through plants as well as defending himself, which I just said, so I guess, you know, nailed that one. 100% accuracy. What did it turn into, though? Because we all know these weapons do be transforming when they get their shiny Nuva forms. Did it turn into twin hatchets, dual boomerangs, twin daggers, or dual katanas?
Katanas.
Okay.
Boomerang gang.
Cool daggers.
All right. Everyone's picking different things. One of you did land on the correct answer this time. I'm very proud of you. The correct answer is... They turned into some dang old katanas. Kyle gets another point.
Let's go.
Not katana.
Apparently, they're katanas. They
I
don't
knew
look
that
like
those
them.
don't look like katanas.
But the weapon-
I knew what they were, but I was just like, that's not a katana.
The weapon
so I'll go
name
with
is
dagger.
literally called the air katana.
That's not a katana.
Take it up with the fucking Lego company circa 2001 because those are apparently air katanas.
I actually knew the answer to this one. I still got it wrong.
I liked that the vehicle these turned into were wings, and all he did was flip them into his armpits and then glided on them.
Really?
Kind of lame, but he was still my favorite design because he looks really cool.
So everybody else, like, takes it off and puts it on their foot, or like puts them together, or like it's just claws and he can climb. And this guy goes, "All right, I'm ready."
Yep.
Yep.
He just goes, basically just puts them up there, flaps.
Which is funny because the mask on the first form already implied that he could just fly already. So-
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Bionicle's
Extreme
cool.
sports.
Shut the fuck up. Bionicle's awesome. Round number 6. It's the last Toa of the main Toa group. And it was another one that I owned, obviously. And it was Onua.
Oh.
He was the quiet and philosophical Toa of Earth.
Obvious.
This one is my like this is the mask I think of, I believe, other than the Mask of Light, obviously. When I think of like old Bionicle.
Yeah, it's a classic. It is classic.
He looks so freaky.
Why this one?
Because he's giving you he's doing the Jim Carrey thing.
I still
he's
think
doing the fucking.
I think Pohatu Nuvo was doing that more than he is.
No, I just mean his posture. Like, this man is.
Yeah, I still think Pohatu Nuvo was more scrunched in than this guy.
Probably on account of the upside down pelvis.
Yeah. But you are
do that,
correct
Suga.
in the fact that this dude's head is like attached to the body and not on top. Like he does not have a
Yes.
neck.
I am deformed.
Short kings rise up.
I did always like this guy though because he had claws and I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Claws are
man.
good.
You got
Now,
fingies.
speaking of his iconic mask, that was of course the Kanohi Bakari, which I'm sure everyone knows offhand. Of course. Iconic mask. And because it's so iconic, everyone I'm sure already knows the mask power associated with it. But here are your options. I expect all of you to get this one because everyone knows everything about this mask. Your options are enhanced strength, dark vision, fortification, or sharpened senses.
Of course. It's, we could probably just do it on 3. We can all just say it.
Yeah, that won't be confusing for me at all. If you pick
No,
different answers.
no. Well, we're not going to pick different answers because we all know the
Right,
right
yeah,
answer.
right.
We all know what it's very obvious. So on the
Yeah.
count of 3, we're all going to say the exact same correct
All right,
answer.
yeah, go for it,
Ready?
yeah.
Ready?
Obviously.
Okay. Yeah. Tyler, do you want to count us down because
Yeah,
you're the
absolutely.
one that's... Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Sharpened
Sharpened
senses.
senses.
Wow, you all picked the same one and you're all fucking wrong and stupid and idiots. This is the mask of enhanced strength.
Why is he enhanced strength?
You got those claws, you gotta dig. You need strength to get
Philosophical boy don't need strength.
He does need strength. You need that finger strength to dig through the rocks, but not the rocks that's the
he had
earth that's different than
brains.
rocks in this universe.
No.
He had brains, now he just got bronze. Now he's not unique. He's just got everything.
The whole package.
He's philosophical
No!
because he's got enhanced strength. He's like Superman. He's got to think about his
Yeah,
actions.
he has strength, but he holds back because he is so wise, and he does not use his strength recklessly. The
No, I give it to him.
Bakari was the mask of strength that vastly increased the user's brute physical strength. Crazy.
I hate this guy.
A Bakari is always active on a low level.
All right, Lex.
So apparently you can't turn this thing off. You're always at least a little bit strong when you're wearing this.
All right, sure,
Okay.
sure. See, because he's got to be philosophical and manage his strength.
Yeah. And when it turns
It's all coming together.
Bullshit. I hate him.
When it turns into the Takanuva, it becomes ugly as fuck. And,
See,
It kind of looks
I
like a
hated him
predator
before
mask.
it was cool. Okay, I hated him before everyone's like, "Ew, it's a gross mask." I hate him for him.
I like
It
the
actually
hole in the
kinda-
bottom looks like, ooh.
yeah.
It kind of looks a lot like a predator.
A little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I never had Onua Nuva, but I did have an Onua Nuva electric toothbrush that came with the mask as a cover. So I ripped the mask off and put it in my Bionicle collection and then used the toothbrush on its own.
Huh.
Maybe we'll have a quiz on weird crossover products. But the Bakari Nuva...
Brother Bear Totem light up spoon for cereal.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. The Bakari Nuva increased the sheer strength of the user and those nearby to the maximum their muscles could withstand.
Oh. Did you say that was always active, or he can turn that on?
It doesn't specify for that one. It says that the base one is always active on a low level. It does not specify for the new one.
Good.
As we've established before, Onua's weapon were the earth claws. They helped him dig, pick up large boulders, etc. They were part of his hands, so he could not remove them.
Yeah.
So he did just get big fingers. Now, when he became a Takanuva, though, and got that big old ugly mask, what did the earth claws transform into? Did they become drills, fists, chainsaws, or bigger claws?
You probably got bigger claws,
All right.
but I'm not picking that.
Oh, all right.
Hey, picking chainsaws.
Okay.
I was also thinking chainsaws.
Okay. 2 for chainsaws.
It would be the least helpful when digging.
Depends on what you're thinking.
I'm just still trying to think of this in terms of something that'll transform.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing drills transforming, so I'll be mad about that.
I mean, to be fair,
Not
the
seeing-
transformation for the last round was point at armpits. So, like...
Yeah, I know, but what's he gonna do with drills? Point them at armpits and drill into his fucking armpits?
Just switch him to his feet.
Kick him. He's gonna kick him.
Just give me bigger claws so I'm not also picking chainsaws.
Okay, you're the only one not getting points this time, you fucking moron, because he does get chainsaws. So Kyle and Mitch
Yeah.
are both getting another point. Now, before you rise up in the comments and be like, Tyler, actually, those were not chainsaws, those were called quake breakers, which were twin chainsaw-like weapons. You're right. They were quake breakers that were chainsaw-like weapons, but I wasn't gonna put quake breaker as an option because that doesn't mean anything. So I put chainsaws because they're chainsaw-like, and that's close enough for me.
Yeah.
He used
So
them-
philosophical that he has to name his chainsaws quake breakers.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
And if and
Nah, I love this
Nico, to
guy.
answer your
Yeah,
question,
like
these
that.
obviously transform into a terrain-based thingy to help him traverse because he just straps him to his feet and they become treads.
Yeah.
He's like that guy from Soul Eater. He's like the chainsaw boots.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the
immediately
only
what came
thing
to
that
mind.
made
Yeah.
sense from the answers you provided. I just didn't want to also pick chainsaws.
Yes. I really hate that the Toa Mata version of this guy is really cool and the Toa New version of this guy is so goddamn stupid. I really
Agreed,
hate
yeah.
this, like, the ultimate downgrade.
Again, I hated him before he was cool. I'm glad you're all on board now, but you can't really, like, welcome to my club. I am the leader. So I'm glad you've come around to the fact that this guy is a little piece of shit.
Yeah. They even give him little,
I'm
like,
not in your
stubby
club.
bow rock arms, too. He
Yes,
doesn't even
you are. You have a
full-size
fucking
arms.
choice.
No, I'm not in your. You're a false idol, you freak.
Too bad you're already here. What do you think we're doing right now? This is a meeting.
You're not in charge here.
That's what you think.
The
I'll
only-
do an extra
The only
round.
person in charge here is Christ. Speaking of which, Takanuva is the final round of today's quiz. He is, of course, the Toa of Light. He didn't have a base form because he was a Matoran. If you've seen the movie, you know his origin story, because that's the whole movie, is his origin story. But he is the 7th Toa Nuva. He is the mythical Toa of Light. the prophesied seventh Toa. Yeah, watch the movie if you haven't. I'm not going to go over the plot, but his Kanohi mask was the Mask of Light, the titular Mask of Light called the Kanohi Avaki. And I'm sure since we've all seen the movie in our youth and are brushed up on everything that happened in it,
Of course.
when I give you these options for what the mask power for the Avaki was, you're immediately going to know. Here are your options. Was it purification, forgiveness, understanding, or heart? That's right, light
Heart.
isn't a fucking option for the Mask of Light.
Give me heart.
Purification, please.
Okay.
I've seen this movie.
We all have,
Same.
yeah.
I've seen this movie.
You have. Everyone has
This
seen
is
it.
a movie
Why?
I've seen.
Yeah, it's a movie I still own. I think I have it up in my bedroom somewhere in a box.
So you obviously know what to pick, right, bud?
Clearly.
Yeah. It's the easiest question of the night.
It's obviously in the plot of the movie they seek out the Mask of Light because they think it will purify, but that's actually not what it does. It just helps them come to a better understanding of the forces they're up against.
It sure does. Mitch gets his 4th point and I believe is now tied
No
with Kyle.
fucking way!
It is the understanding. The great Kanohi Avaki gave its user a Toa level range and strength of elemental light powers. However, it also gave them the power to bring understanding to the hearts of others. Despite the fact that it was one of the few elemental Kanohi, it did not boost any pre-existing elemental light powers the user might have had. Additionally, the Avaki allowed its user to sense moral light in others. How cool.
Oh.
That kind of light.
Neat.
I've seen that movie. I don't remember any of it.
You proved it. No, you proved it.
You clearly
proved
remember
it.
some of it.
I hope you remember more of it because the final question of today's quiz. Obviously, we're not going to talk about what his weapon transforms into because it's there. You can see it.
Big old glaive.
And it is the Staff of Light, which can be used to channel Takanuva's powers of light, but it could
That's
be
a glaive.
used for another very random purpose in the Bionicle canon. So for the final question of the night, to determine potentially the winner, to see if there's a break in this tie, which I hope I didn't fuck up the math, because I have the score that you two are tied. That might not be true. I don't know. What else was the Staff of Light used for? Used for fishing, pole vaulting, curling, or lacrosse?
To
Give me
crack
fishing.
walnuts.
Give me fishing, because fishing understanding.
Yep, you have to understand the
Lacrosse?
fish to fish them. It's true.
You're just
Lacrosse?
saying words next to each other. You're
I'm
not
going-
like
And what are
going
you
with
doing,
lacrosse.
bitch? What are you doing? You're doing something
picking the
different.
right answer. Wait, what did you pick, Mitch?
I'm picking lacrosse.
Damn it! I wanted to pick lacrosse, but that means we would.
picking lacrosse.
But that,
I swear to God.
Damn it! Damn it! I wanted to pick lacrosse. Let that be known in case that's the right answer. But I don't want to pick the same thing because that'd be lame. Because we're tied, probably, maybe, possibly. I will pick curling.
Well, Kyle, unfortunately, because you wanted to play the game, you have lost the game because the correct answer is lacrosse. Now, before people get
Damn,
lacrosse with
fucking
me in the comments, it wasn't actually used for lacrosse. It was used for the in-universe sport of Koli, which was very similar to lacrosse. But I wasn't going to put that in there because
Okay.
Koli means nothing to you. But it was,
Right.
as you've all seen the movie, you remember that being a very important part of the movie, that Takua, as a Matoran, was a Koli player and carried around a big old Koli stick, and that's what transformed into the Spear of Light, and that's how he defeated Makuta at the end, because he played him in a game of Koli using their souls or some shit. And it was really fucking dumb, but I thought it was cool as a kid because of, wow, the Bionicles are animated, this has to be awesome. I got this for Christmas. I'm gonna watch this every day of my dang life.
Did you watch it today yet?
Sure didn't. I'm gonna be honest,
I would be so disappointed.
I had told myself I'm gonna rewatch this movie before we do this quiz so that I'm reacclimated, and then I never did that. But I have the remaining
Very
3
heavy.
movies also upstairs in a box somewhere. Maybe I'll do that by the time we get to the other sets of Toa, which won't happen for a while, but... Well, that's the end of the very first Bionicle quiz. I hope it was not as disappointing as I think it may have been, but boy, was I just erect and elated that I got to talk about my favorite childhood franchise.
Yeah.
Those aren't katanas, and lacrosse players will never understand anything.
Oh, what?
Gali!
The next episode's really gonna rock your socks off.
Yes! Yeah!